Hello, and today I want to teach you how to create stickers with your Silhouette Cameo 4. I've been using it for 3 to 4 years, and it's helped me to make thousands upon thousands of stickers for my sticker business. First, we're going to start with how to actually get the software. If you already know how to do that, go ahead and skip this step and go to the next section. Otherwise, go to silhouetteamerica.com, go to software, and you'll see Silhouette Studio right here. You want to go click that, and depending on your operating system, where either you have Windows or Mac, go ahead and click the appropriate one, and then just like any other software, just download it, install it, and it should be good to go. When you open Silhouette Studio, this is what it should look like. First, before we start doing anything, go ahead and go to the sticky note panel here on the sidebar, and you're gonna see all these settings right here. Go ahead and make sure that this machine says auto, this feed type says auto, and that the cutting mat, if you're using the standard 12 by 12 inch cutting mat, go ahead and use auto and it should look how it's presented. And then for media size is your actual paper that you're working with, which if you're dealing with regular sticker paper, it should just be a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So otherwise, if you're working with a different kind of paper, you may want to adjust your width and height based on what you're using. And next, we're going to set up our registration marks. So go ahead in this same page setup that we were in earlier, go ahead and go to registration marks and turn this on. And you can see that there are these little black markers here. What it does is when you load up your Cameo with this, it basically scans for this box and these brackets to show where all the artwork is in this location, so it knows exactly where to cut in this border here. For some of you, this red border may not appear for you. If it does not, go back to your page setup right here and make sure your show print border and your show cut border are both checked, so then you can have, so you know like the range of where your stickers are being cut. Now we're going to put in our first sticker. So we're going to go ahead and drag in this sticker here. This is a design I recently made. You can notice that there's this little warning label right here. It says low resolution. That pretty much means that if you print it out at this size, it may look blurred or pixelated when you actually print it out. It's pretty accurate when it does indicate this. So for most cases, if that does happen, we need to reduce the size of the sticker. So for this, we're going to shrink this down to, I believe, 2.4 inches in width. Seeing when I did that, the warning label did disappear, so that means that when I print this out, it's going to be in pretty good quality. For our next step, we're going to get rid of this red line that's around our sticker. So when you have a colored line, it pretty much tells the Silhouette to cut that zone where these lines occur. We don't want that for this design because it's cutting way too close into it. So to get rid of this red border or this red line, go ahead and click on the sticker itself. Go to your line style panel, go to your line color, and then click this cross stitch color. And you can see when it did that, it got rid of the red border, which is exactly what we need to do. Now we got to make our actual cutting zone, which for most stickers, you can see that they usually have like a white border cut around the sticker instead of cutting like right where the design is itself. To do that, we're going to click on the sticker and we're going to go to the side panel again and then do open the offset panel. Click here and then click offset. What this does is it creates this border around the sticker where it's going to actually cut. To me, this is a little too big, so here you can go to distance and then you can adjust it. And for this, we're going to go to 0.07. I like how this looks. That's how you apply that border. Next, we need to group our cutting border we just made with the design itself, because you can see if you click on just the design, you drag it off, oh, the border is separated from the design. We don't want that. So I'm going to click undo. Now we're going to make sure to highlight both the sticker and the red border. You right click and then you do group. Now that your sticker and your cut border are grouped together, you can now copy and paste this throughout the rest of the paper, so then we can hopefully get to cutting. Now to put the design throughout the rest of the sheet, we can go ahead and right click the design, do copy, right click paste, and we have our duplicate design. You can also do Control C, Control V, and you'll have your design copy and pasted there. I personally do that because it's a lot quicker for me. So I'll go ahead and continue that throughout the rest of the sheet. But some tips: do not put your design too close to another one like that, because that could lead to cutting issues. You want to leave a decent gap in between so your blade has enough room to cut each individual sticker. Also, do not put your design outside of the red border, because what will happen is it'll cut everything inside, but everything outside the red border will not be cut. Same if you put it in this cross stitch region. That's also a no region. It will just not cut in that region at all, so do not put any stickers there. So I'll go ahead and fill out the rest of the paper, and I'll speed through that right now. Okay, the rest of the design is pretty much filled out on the paper. I can't put in any more because if you can see here, it's gonna cut outside of the border, which is not what we want. But if you're in the situation where you have like a lot of white space and you don't want to waste it, you can get a smaller design to put in this area, or you can put in some freebies that are usually smaller in this area, so that you can print your original design along with some freebies. You can also shrink the design itself so that you can fill out as much of the paper as possible, and that'll just be your standard size of your design. Okay, now we are ready to cut, and since we're gonna go to the Send tab here. And before we get into the cutting, I need to explain these 4 categories in the cut settings. So we have blade depth, which is basically how long the blade goes into the cutting mat. Passes is how many times the cutting is going to go around the design. Your force is self-explanatory, is basically how hard the blade goes into the mat. And then speed is how fast the design is cut around each design. All of this in combination gives you the ability to actually cut out the design however you want. For our sticker design, we're gonna not be in this simple section, we're gonna go to this line section. And you can see here, there's gonna be these 2 different line colors. For here, if this is checked, where you can see like this black border here, it's gonna cut that black border, which is not what we want. We wanna make sure that we uncheck that to make sure that this design itself is not being cut and that only this red border is being cut. Now we're going to set up a new material type, and to do that we're going to go ahead and go to this red line color, go to the drop down menu, and then do add new material type. When we do that, we're going to call this new sticker paper. We're going to go to press enter, and it's going to be right there. So now we're going to exit out of this material settings. And here we're going to go back into the drop down menu, and we're going to go to the new sticker paper. And then from here, we can start setting up all of our settings for this new material preset. You might be asking, what cut settings do I need for my sticker paper? For most sticker papers, they should have a description section where it tells you the appropriate Cricut setting or Silhouette setting to properly cut your stickers. In my case, I use the online label sticker paper. I love this stuff. It's really good. It's really high quality. I use it all the time. I've been using it for a long time. And here on this website, I can go down to cut settings, and if I click that there, they have the sticker paper cut settings guide for Silhouette, Cricut, and more. And we have our Silhouette Cameo 4 here. So when we click that, there's going to be this table that goes through and shows you the blade, kiss cut force, full cut force, and then full cut passes. So you might be wondering, what does kiss cut force and full cut force means? The full cut force means just straight through the sticker sheet, and you basically cut out the entire sticker, and then you separate that from the main paper. Kiss cut force is different. With sticker paper, it's 2 layers, right? So you have like your initial print layer and the backing. Kiss cut force only cuts that sticker layer, not the backing. So then that's great for sticker sheets, for example. So that could be something that you might consider in the future. In my case, I use this weatherproof matte inkjet, which requires a blade of 3, a kiss cut force of 12, a full cut force of 24, and then a full cut pass of 2. Since we're using a full cut force, we're gonna use that 3 blade, 24 full cut, and 2 passes. Now we're back in Silhouette Studio, so we're gonna use those exact settings. So blade depth was already a 3, so that's good. Our force, we're gonna crank it up to 24 because we're gonna want a full cut through the entire paper. And for passes, we're gonna do 2. For speed, it didn't give that setting in the website, but for me, I typically like at least a 7 or 8. You could adjust this however you want, depending on how fast you need the stickers cut, and cutting it too fast can cause issues, but then cutting it too slow could just consume way too much time. But slower usually means higher quality, so that's something to keep in mind. Once you're done, go ahead and save, and now you have your appropriate cut settings. Now, if you're in a situation where you don't have cut settings shown to you on like either the product description or website, you'll sadly have to jump to the realm of trial and error. So what I recommend is to start with settings that are similar to your sticker paper that you can find. Even this, I think, is a pretty good starting point for a 3 depth, 24 force, and 2 passes and 7 speed. If you're testing settings, I really recommend definitely 2 passes. You shouldn't need more, and you shouldn't do just 1 pass. Speed, I'd probably crank that down to a 5. So you can keep these static, so 2 passes and 5 speed, and the adjustments and testing should really happen on the blade depth and force. If you notice that it's not cutting through all the way, increase your depth. And let's say that it is cutting through, but in like some parts of the sticker paper it's not cutting through all the way, then I'd recommend going up in force. Sadly here, there's not really a hard tutorial on how to actually hone in on those settings. It's just a matter of like either increasing or decreasing these numbers and hopefully achieving that cut that you want. Also, if you're starting out and if the sticker paper is worth a damn, then I think they should have preset settings for their sticker paper, especially if they know that like their customers are using it for either a Silhouette or Cricut. So I more recommend that as to get a sticker paper that does have settings already. Okay, now that we have our design ready and now that we have our settings ready, we're finally ready to actually get to cutting. First, of course, go ahead and print this design out on your sticker paper. And once you have done that, I'll show you how to load it up on the Silhouette cutting mat so then we can actually get to cutting. Okay, now that we have our design cut out, I had a little bit of an ink splatter issue, which is perfectly fine. Those could be B-grade stickers, but everything below does look pretty good. We have our registration marks in the corner that look completely fine. And now we're gonna load it onto the actual cutting mat over here. With these cutting mats, they are very sticky. So what you wanna do is get your design here, and then we're gonna paste it up into these, into the farthest most corner, and go ahead and flatten that out throughout the rest of the mat. You can see the design is up to the corner, it's flat across, it's pretty straight, which is good. And I really recommend getting one of these rubber rollers here so that you can go ahead and roll out your design on the sticky mat. All right, here is the Silhouette Cameo 4. Some tips that I have is to always do a hardwired connection to your computer. Do not use the Bluetooth unless you absolutely have to, because I've always ran into problems with Bluetooth with the Silhouette. So I always recommend a hard line to the computer. And then also for your placement, make sure that your Cameo, wherever you place it, that there's room behind and room up front, because when you feed the mat through and it's cutting out throughout this whole 12-inch cutting pad, it needs to pull the pad behind the Cameo sometimes. So just make sure wherever you have it that you have room in the front, but then you also got room in the back. Okay, and then before we start loading in the mat, just make sure when you start feeding it through that you have that mat up to that gray edge there. Mine's a little bit worn down, but it should be the edge of the mat should be against that little lip ridge there. And then make sure that it's flat across, the mat is flat across with the metal bar. And then once it is and it's in a good spot, go ahead and go to that little arrow and press up. And it's gonna be completely loaded. And if you check your settings here on the send, you can see that it says ready, which means that you can actually start the cutting process. Since we're ready, we're gonna go ahead and send that off right now. And then when you do that, it should start registering. Right now it's scanning for the registration marks. and it's gonna change the blade length. That's a 3. And then it's gonna start cutting. And now we wait. Okay, now that it's finished cutting, go ahead and click on this down arrow and it should kick out your cutting mat. So we're gonna click that. Oops. And it came out. And now that you have your mat back, we now need to remove the sticker. Okay, now that we removed the mat, now we need to remove the stickers. So to do that, we need to get rid of all the non-sticker paper. So we're gonna go ahead and peel this off. And when you do, if you did your cutting settings right, it should just peel right off. See, no effort, no issue, it's just coming right off. And it's basically just the leftovers, and all that should be left is the stickers themselves. If when you peel off this piece, there's like stickers that get stuck to this itself, that usually means that you need to either apply a longer blade, so that blade depth needs to be longer, or you need to add more force. I would go with force first, because usually that's more effective than depth. Especially if it's cutting out some stickers but not all, then go ahead and focus force. Otherwise, hop to depth, see what you can do, and hopefully you can adjust the settings just right to where it fits for your sticker paper. Now to peel off the actual stickers, you should be very careful and go ahead and put your fingers behind the sticker that you're about to peel, and just like you're peeling a sticker, peel off the sticker, and it should come right off. If the mat is too sticky, you might need a mat with not enough stick, because there are some mats that are super sticky and they'll just tear off your sticker no matter what. So you gotta make sure you get the right mat for your stickers. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the rest. So these stickers obviously got some ink splotches there, so those will be my B grade stickers. Always keep your B grades. There's some customers that do not care about stuff like this, and it's better than throwing it away and wasting. So it's always good to just offer it to customers. If they want it, great. If not, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Someone will. Now we have some perfectly good stickers. That looks great. The border looks awesome. Great cut. And now you created a sticker. If you made it this far, great job. I hope everything worked out okay. I hope you didn't run into any issues. If you did, you can hopefully comment below and I'll try to help you. If not, some of the comments might be of help as well. But thank you so much for watching. I hope your stickers turned out great, and have a good one.